Hello, everyone. That was a great film. I'll go ahead and introduce some of our other panelists. So we have Ray Sutherland with Women Mountain Bike. Yeah, go ahead and sit down and grab a mic. And then we have Amy Wiscombe with the Bicycle Collective. And then Phil Sarnoff. And I guess I can grab a mic up there, too. I didn't count. Okay. So that was an awesome film. I think we can all agree. It was kind of riveting, and I'm super inspired to be a female that's cycling, even though I don't face nearly the challenges and the discrimination and just political turmoil that the women in Afghanistan face on a daily basis. But can we just whiz through some of what you do on a daily basis, either with empowering women or advancing cycling? So do you want to kick us off, Ray?
Sure. Thanks for having me here. What a movie. I'm very emotional after that. So I'm the founder of Women MTB. It's a small organization that started really only 2 years ago to help empower women and build community around Utah through mountain biking. And really, it's a very, very part-time job for me because I'm also a mother, but I have been mountain biking for a long time. So we offer really a great mountain biking community for anyone. The whole idea is to host regular rides and events to help women build confidence, gain skills, and find other friends to ride with so they can get out on their own and feel good doing so. So they can join our rides, join our group events, and hopefully get out on their own as well.
Hello, everyone. I'm Amy Wiscombe, and I'm with the Salt Lake City Bicycle Collective, and I am the program coordinator there. I've been in my position for a little over a year, and there are many different programs that I get to have the opportunity to coordinate. And the one that sticks out that I'd like to share about this evening in correlation with the film is we host every single Wednesday. We have a night where anyone who identifies as women, trans masculine, trans feminine, or femme folks to come into the shop and work on their own bikes or buy bikes or look at bikes. And then they also have an opportunity to volunteer as well to learn a little bit more about bicycle maintenance and repair. And during this evening, it's a space where it's a non-intimidating space, a very safe and supportive environment where people who identify as women, trans, or femme can feel empowered to work on their own bikes and not belittled or have tools taken away from them or feel like they're inferior or anything like that. So it's a really great time for folks to just be empowered and work on bikes. And we also have bi-weekly group rides for women, trans, and femme just around the city. And we started this with the idea in mind that when you're riding together as a group or as a team, you feel less intimidated to be on the road and you feel more safe and also excited to explore the city and be more comfortable in the city. And we try to stop off at restaurants or bars or places like that so that they have a group of people who they can go and socialize with. So those are just a few things that we do.
And my name's Phil Sarnoff. I'm the executive director of Bike Utah, and Bike Utah is the statewide nonprofit bike advocacy and education organization. Most of what we do is try to give people safe places to ride. We work at all levels of government and with advocates and communities all around the state to try and create more bike lanes, paths, and trails. In addition to that, we also run a youth program. So we have a no-cost program. We go to a school for an entire week, and we bring a box truck full of bicycles and instructors and helmets, and we get kids riding bicycles. So we reach about 3,000 kids all around the state every year through that. And really a lot of what we're trying to do is help solve problems that Utah faces. Yes, bicycles are fun, but also they help people get to education, work, services, improve air quality, all these things that it's not just about riding bicycles. It is about riding bicycles, yes, but it's also about all the great things that bicycles can do for individuals and for communities as well.
Wonderful. And then I'll just provide some quick context about why I'm up here moderating. So I work for the Utah Department of Transportation, and I'm the active transportation coordinator. So I do all of the bike and walking safety platforms, educational platforms, coordination, and in addition to that, I get in the nitty-gritty of like the design of bicycle facilities and trying to get accommodation out on our roadways. So it's kind of interesting in the film to kind of really see the lack of accommodation, and you know, a lot of them are on mountain bikes because the roads are just simply in various states of repair. So that's kind of my background. And anyway, so I'd love to kind of maybe get your initial gut reactions on the film and perhaps a quick tie to your organization or what you're actually promoting yourselves. So start with you, Phil.
Sure. Really, I mean, kind of just what I said. I mean, my gut reaction to the film obviously is, I know I hear from a lot of bicyclists that how bad conditions are here, and we're not facing 1/100th of the things that obviously those women are facing. But still, it's really just an amazing tool. I mean, really, if you look at the history of bicycling from even the turn of the century, it was a mechanism for women's empowerment. It was a mode of transportation that people could use and was accessible to everybody, and that's still what it is now. For us, it's always been a really equitable mode of transportation. Not everybody can afford a car. Not everybody has a driver's license, and there are just tons of opportunities that bicycles can help to be a transportation solution and a ladder of opportunity for people, regardless of age, income, ability.
And I apologize, I didn't explain a little bit more about the Salt Lake City Bicycle Collective itself, but our main goal is to promote cycling as an effective and sustainable and an affordable form of transportation. And by doing so, we're able to receive bikes and fix them up and refurbish them and repair them, and then we're able to give them away to people in the community who need bikes the most. And so just gut reaction with the film, I was thinking about how every country and a lot of different folks go through different trials and turmoil, and we're lucky to be where we are in this country to have the freedom to ride bikes, and women have the freedom to do that whenever they want. But there is a pattern of women in the cycling community, you know, wherever it is, there appears to be a pattern in the film, and here even in our own city, where cycling is a cis, white, male-dominated sport typically, even in bike maintenance as well. It's dominated mostly by middle-aged white men, is what research has shown. But it doesn't mean that women don't want to ride bikes, that women don't want to be in the bike field. It shows an example of how what we need to do to get more women into the field of cycling. And so different organizations, Women MTB and Bike Utah and the Salt Lake City Bicycle Collective, were able to provide programs to help encourage and empower folks to get on the bike, regardless, like what Phil says, you know, of age and socioeconomic status. Doesn't matter where you're at in your life, you can have access to a bike, and there are ways for you to seek that out, and all of our organizations trying to encourage that and promote that. So we just need to definitely stick together and do a better job about advertising and sharing those resources. But you know, that's why we're all here today, and so I hope that we're able to walk away and share some more of this information with the folks that we work with outside of this event tonight.
I'm with Phil when he said that there's no way to compare really what the women in this movie were going through compared to what we might be going through here in Utah. But that being said, there's emotional challenges women go through, and also social challenges here. And I feel like one thing that is important at Women MTB is that we're creating a safe place for women to do something that's scary, and then to help them find confidence in that. I know when I was young, biking was the thing that brought me confidence and helped me do better in other areas of my life. Because I was a good biker and I could do cool things, then I could feel confident giving that presentation or taking a test or saying no to a boy or other things like that. So I feel like we're really trying to empower women emotionally and individually at a personal level, but then also to give opportunities for our community to see women in the bike community, that they are interested, that there is a really big movement of women flocking to the sport, and that their voices should be heard in the bike industry, whether it's, you know, bike design or clothing or any of those things, that hopefully we can show that there is an women really do come to the table when it comes to the industry. But I think that we're maybe a lot farther down that path, but still working for recognition as females in the sport.
That's a great point. A huge, I guess a very pervasive theme throughout the film, right, was culture and support systems and kind of an identity kind of for these women found through cycling. And I kind of wanted to take a moment and talk about, so Frozon, when she was in Paris, or like in France, you know, she had no support system immediately around her. She didn't know the language. She didn't have a bicycle. And there was a moment where someone found her a home and a bike, right? So Amy, could you tell us about what bikes can do for people in need?
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you asked that question because one of my favorite things about working at the Salt Lake City Bicycle Collective is that I get to meet so many different people. And more oftentimes than not, the folks who come in to volunteer are brand new to Salt Lake City. They're brand new to Utah, and they're looking for a place to meet people and to find people who share the same interests as they do. And so when volunteers come in, I get to find out that they're new and that they would like to learn more about bike maintenance, but ultimately they're looking for people who they can meet and to be around. And so the Salt Lake City Bicycle Collective has offered so many opportunities for folks to be a part of different classes and to network, and then from that point they're able to find their community in the city itself, and they're off and socializing and finding that sense of community that they've been looking for.
Additionally, the Bicycle Collective last year gave away 1,400 bicycles to people in need that were in very similar circumstances of homelessness, facing homelessness, or working with social services within the city or within the county.
Right.
So that's a great asset to
Yeah.
people in similar circumstances. So are there any questions in the audience for our panelists today? I'm happy to run around with the mic real quick if there are. No? No one? No takers? Yes, in the back.
Let me help us there.
That's all right, I'm talking here, so go.
You can speak
I
loudly.
think that guy in the mask, the guy who didn't have the courage to show his face in the movie, that was ready to kill all the women that, you know, do you think he ever rode a bike?
I don't think so. What about you, Phil?
I don't know anyone who's that unhappy on a bicycle. I mean, most people I know on bicycles are generally pretty happy people, so you might be onto something. I don't have definitive proof, but anecdotally, sure.
We need to just get the Taliban on bicycles and fix the
I'm not
problem.
going to wade into this.
All right, and we have one more question. Do you mind
Speaking louder.
I can talk about it.
Okay.
Are you still having the group bike throughout the city, and what are the regulations and rules on that? Is that still happening, or is that been not happening?
I can speak to this.
this one? So there are several group rides in the city. The most popular and large in size with just sheer volume of people is the 999, which leaves 9th and 9th at 9 o'clock on Thursdays. And preferably, we want everyone to safely abide by the rules of the road, right? Follow all traffic signals, railroad crossing signals, those sorts of things, and definitely consider your safety foremost when you're out doing group rides. We have had a lot of group rides in the past. Bike Party, Phil and I started that several years ago, and we're probably looking for someone to pick that ride up. So if you're interested in doing more social outreach through group rides, feel free to stay after this panel and come speak to us personally. So, and then Amy, we have bicycle rides at the collective that leave really frequently.
We do, yeah. We'll start the rides up again in October, but it's typically on Tuesdays around 6 p.m. is when we leave from the shop on West Temple, 2300 South.
We also have a lot of women MTB rides. Those are a little bit more in the mountains and outside and outdoorsy, but they're still frequent.
Yeah, we're particularly for mountain biking, but every Thursday night at 6 o'clock, different locations. We have a pretty strong presence on Facebook and a website that has all of the details, where you're going, when, what time. We offer different levels too, so people can feel comfortable whether they're brand new or really experienced. And then Wednesdays as well, and then off and on weekends. We ride a lot.
Wonderful. All right, well, I think that's it for our panel discussion. Thank you guys so much for coming out to the film, and thank you so much for the opportunity to lead a discussion this evening. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.